Hey everybody, no means no. And I'm not even talking in a dramatic sense. I'm talking about an everyday simple no. And I want you to be very wary of people who do not respect your initial answer. No is hard enough to say, especially if you were raised to be subservient like myself. And so for me to even mention it, it takes a lot. And I'm a pretty simple person. But I found there's one area of my life I had always struggled, and that was with sugar and sex. And I have committed to eating a snack after dinner, and that's it. I do my best to avoid regular soda. I don't really even drink a lot of diet soda because I don't want that type of temptation in my life. And so to me, snacking during the day, stopping for us, if you stop at the gas station, I don't grab anything. I actually have my water, and that's what I depend on to get through. But I'll give you an example, and some people might think, well, it's not really a big deal. But if you're like me and you're kind of a pushover, this can be a make or break moment for you. So I went out to eat, um, and the desserts were yummy, but I was going to take mine to go. And I was with someone who had ordered their dessert immediately after lunch. I think I said I went to lunch, right? Well, let's just say I went to lunch. And so the person I was with ordered their dessert, and it was a pretty decent sized dessert. And she said, share this with me. And I said, no, I can't. I only snack at night. She said, come on, just a little bit. And I said, no, I'm good. And I had to go into the reasoning why I had to say no. And so I felt like she was a pusher and I was an addict. And I have to say, it's really tough because years ago, and I'll just throw it out there, when my daughters were in high school, I had a friend I would go out with every Friday night. Her name was, we'll call her Stacy. And we would hang out, and I had never really, had I smoked the 420 once in a great while. I didn't, just once, maybe once a year. It wasn't really my thing. I was never really a drinker or smoker or anything like that. So a friend of mine, my friend Stacy and I would go out to every Friday. We'd go and I'd be the designated driver, and we'd just go listen to music and hang out, and it would dance and have fun. It was nice. It was a nice break. And so she was a smoker. I don't even remember what kind of cigarette she smoked. She said, do you want one? And I said, okay. And don't ask me why. And I had one and I felt high, and I said, oh, this is fantastic. And so I started to look forward to hanging out with her every Friday so I could have a cigarette or two or whatever. And I realized I was falling into a downward spiral, and it was not good for me. And my husband and we're not bar people. We don't hang out at bars because the people we know, they're casual drinkers, and you go out and they'll say, oh, you could just have one. And when you're dealing with someone who regularly partakes, it is like an uphill battle where you say no, and they say just have one. And if you're feeling just like having a drink, you say okay. And then, so just be really, really, really careful. Because my no really does mean no. And I don't say no to a lot of things because I have a very solitary life. So, anyways, just be careful. Um, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what the magic pill or answer is for this one, but I just wanted to say, if you're hanging out with people who you like hanging out with them, but you know that you're gonna become weak and you wake up with regret the next day, you probably should hang out with them less and find other people who really don't partake. Because if I go out to eat with friends and we're out, just give me a water or a soda. I'm good to go. I would never push my agenda on anyone else because I don't really have one. So that's all I've got, and I will be back.